Abusia for Sabi, the nature of Parliamentary, so why she papa. Aha, any year cast any before Cassa. Now said the NDC are lawyers for more a parliament. Chamber was speaking we see good NPP for lawyers for so called or lawyers for any masana and yansam kitwa. Simple thing a day one remuno. Afenyo man can say young fam running to contain. Nien can yama normal. Hey, these people no uju want ask you. Emrana ye di bo man. Afenyo man can only a lawyer call necessary call law school. Practice as a lawyer no. Yen fam running to chain, yen card for. As Sabia is speaking of a year the speaker, first deputy, Ahafo, the Attorney General, D.Ayeni, said the Messia school Afenyo marking and crawl for almost some lawyers for our Mujinum NPP for Parliament and Yas and Getwa. And Mguasini, Ama the speaker cried to Matsia, a one of air lawyers or me MP ma, a MP. NPP for say. And now Casasa. What can see on Makola-on? Young couldn't quit yesterday in 7 much.
Honourable members, let me take Article 1036. A committee appointed under this article shall have the powers, rights, and privileges of High Court or Justice of the High Court at a trial for enforcing the attendance of a witness and examining them on oath, affirmation, or otherwise. B, compelling the production of a document. C, issuing a commission or a request to examine witness abroad. And it's a committee appointed. So, honorable members, I hear some members of parliament saying I have a power of the High Court. No, that's not the case. Yes, minority leader.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, if care is not taken, we may be setting a very troubling precedent, all in the name of the law. All in the name of the law. What is the gravamen of the question for which the minister is arguing certain exemptions under the law to suggest that he cannot provide because RTI stops him from providing that information? Mr. Speaker, for the avoidance of doubt, and I would urge patience as we all navigate this matter, because it's not for today. Whatever we're saying now for Hansard may be a reference point tomorrow. And I'm not disturbed at all when Speaker rules for or against. What is the member saying? Listen, to ask the Attorney General and Minister for Justice to provide the memorandum which formed the basis for the decision to withdraw charges against Dr. John Pandit Isiama. Mr. Speaker, a Minister of State has taken a decision on the basis of an advice. We all know that, of course, Noli Preṣṣuṛe, he is not required by law to explain or give a justification. But, Mr. Speaker, to the extent that this matter has become a public interest matter, Mr. Speaker, and may my colleagues exercise restraint and listen. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that this has become a public interest matter, resulting in a member of parliament asking you to provide that information. At least it helps you and your image and that of the government that the basis upon which you filed the nolle prosequa was well founded. If you now say that by a certain enactment, the member of parliament must file for some disclosure under RTI or that, and that by this act, House's own enactment, he is forbidden or he is stopped from providing the information. Mr. Speaker, I find it very rich. I find it very rich.
Honorable
That is
minority,
an unfortunate.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, if I may conclude with respect.
But with all due respect, you
Very
and
well.
I were here and we took part in the passage of the law.
That is so.
Now, does the law says in classifying the information that based on public interest, the information should be provided? If no, then I believe we should proceed to another question.
Mr. Speaker, this exercise is good for all of us. Mr. Speaker, who determines, honorable member for Isikado? You are coming
Please
from
address the chair.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I want my respected junior colleague to know that she shouldn't come to the front bench to be talking across, please. Mr. Speaker, who is determining that this piece of advice, the basis for this decision by the Attorney General, is classified? Is he the one who is saying that it is classified, or the law is saying
The law.
that when Mr. Speaker, I need to finish. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I have had my time at the bar. Mr. Speaker, I have had my time at the bar, and I'm able to make my argument. I have to be heard, and if you disagree, you rule against me. The interjections are getting out of hand. Mr. Speaker, if the law is saying that any primary document, the subject matter of a final decision making, is classified, the law must expressly say so. Mr. Speaker, if the Attorney General, the first gentleman of the bar, a citizen is facing prosecution, and he comes in to say that no, I'm withdrawing charges, and he says that it is not me, but I have been advised, and it's not me. The Attorney General is not saying that he himself.
Attorney General, I'll give you the floor.
But he
so
says
you
that
just hold it.
the Attorney General is saying that he's been advised, because, Mr. Speaker, the government of the question tells it all. That says that provide the memorandum. Mr. Speaker, the fact that there is a memorandum is a matter of subject public knowledge. The Attorney General's office put out in the public domain that there was a memorandum. That it is based on the memorandum that he has exercised discretion. The questioner is therefore asking you, make available to the people's representatives this memorandum. And you say it's classified, it's a secret document, it's very rich. He will not use any available other tool. The tool available to him is what he's using to say that, make available that memorandum for all of us to see. Peruse it. Mr. Speaker, I so submit and I believe that the member must be allowed to ask his question, and that minister cannot hide under any law to say he won't give the details of this memorandum.
Honorable Minority Leader, I would have a problem when you say the member is not allowed to ask questions. The member has been given the opportunity to ask the question. Now the minister has provided answers to those questions. Then the member had the opportunity of even asking supplementary questions. You see, Honorable John Dako, with all due respect, we are not in Makola. We are in Parliament. You cannot just shout across like that. You cannot just shout across like that. So the minister has provided the answers. So when the answers are provided, the minister quoted the right law to say that this particular information is a classified information. So once a classified information, now the minister also went further to say that the circumstances based on which you can be compelled to produce documents are spelled out in Article 103. And I even took the trouble to read Article 103, specifically 6. So I have a difficulty getting the tangent from which you are coming from. Honorable Minister, Speaker, you may wind up. Okay. I think we should move to another question.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, may the minority leader give me his ear. Right Honorable Speaker, I am supremely surprised that the Honorable Darko, being the lawyer that he is saying that a statute duly enacted by this House for purposes of the implementation of a constitutional provision should be set aside in the interest of so-called performance of legislative duties. In fact, no, this is very important. We enacted the Right to Information Act, and we saw it fit and proper in the implementation of the right to information under Article 21 of the Constitution to say that certain aspects of public information may be exempted from disclosure. And Section 13 of the Act, 13.1, is specific that opinions, okay, expressed in the normal course of the performance of the duties of a ministry, department, or agency of government is exempt from disclosure. Despite the fact that when the honorable member made the request, there was no reference to the Right to Information Act. There was no reference to the Right to Information Act. But I can say, Mr. Speaker, that this was a public disclosure, in all its dimensions. And in fact, I was asked to provide the memorandum. I was not asked to disclose the content of the memorandum. There's a well of difference between the two. Production of documents is a different matter altogether from from disclosure of the information. And the disclosure of the information is what is regulated by the RTI. When it comes to the production of documents under Article 103(6) of the Constitution, it is only committees of Parliament that are vested with the power to compel the production of documents. And that is why I told the honorable member that if he's asking that we should produce the document, he does not have that power as a single member of this House to compel the Attorney General to produce that document. In any case, the opinion was provided by the DPP, that is the Director of Public Prosecutions, to the former Attorney General, and government is a continuum. Based upon that opinion which was expressed, I took the decision and I took ownership of that decision. I took responsibility. So contrary to the assertion by the honorable minority leader that I took that decision because of the memorandum and therefore I wasn't the one who took the decision. I took the decision and I take responsibility for it. But in justifying the taking of the decision, I refer to the memorandum, and I can tell you in all honesty, and I'm acting with integrity before this House, that memorandum is in existence, but it is exempt under the Right to Information Act. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are at a stage that we're supposed to ask supplementary question. If it is not a supplementary question, please, I would even overrule you before you wind up. Yes, let me take minority leader first. supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, before going into the supplementary question, I believe that
Yes, Whip.
Speaker, the minister appropriately referenced the RTI Act. And the minority leader is suggesting that requirement be set aside. He says, he actually says so, that we shouldn't do this within the law. But that cannot be. Because,
remember, that is why I am asking him
yes,
that the
Speaker,
Right to Information Act
Speaker,
that
RTI
we all
actually
pass,
classifies.
does it set out the circumstances of that nature?
Speaker, under Section 84, the interpretation section of RTI Act, it defines, Speaker, it defines state secret as follows: includes information considered confidential by the government, which, if disclosed, will be prejudicial to the security of the state or injurious to the public interest, and it proceeds. Mr. Speaker, in the answer provided by the minister, he referenced that the information as requested by the applicant seeks access to a memo from the prosecution's division to the former AG on a case prosecuted by the prosecution's division. The correspondence refers to constitute the legal opinion on the case given by the prosecution's division to the former AG. The request will most likely, as normally done, be for the review and approval of the former AG. This is an opinion, and this is classified under the Exempt Act, properly defined as a state secret. So for the minority leader to actually suggest that we should set all these requirements under law aside and play to the public gallery, is actually saying that we shouldn't rule this house by rule of law. We should rule by the opinion of the masses out there. And that will be chaotic. He will be leading us into a path that clearly will
yes,
create
honorable,
problems. So,
honorable
Mr. Speaker,
members, in the absence of any supplementary question.
For at this point, you find so your NPP ni or do NPP party ni pa na uji omudi. At this point, per this statement, if read the minority a hoba, if read the majority a hoba, if read the minister hoba no. Wa at this point, for to any why pa ni make sense? Why need the emotions say kasa? Ekamiya say these people said on one kasa can be ano. They will do everything to sabotage the system. They will do everything to delay process. Government business, even though they are few, musa. But my say no. Anyone you know, is either so much as no mashada, and also bomb. Because omo kase nyina eche some ya lawyer for bohu lawyer asimesi bohu krana Dr. Krasa kanidi ho honorable say twato te nyama mienu is either say bo apaye omo tinema se anaso omo bom papa because adia omo kin wonya lawyer ni unko law school pa. What did you do in Seninia? Do make sense? Afenyo mark in Ankasa G to me say, oh, we the Mrani CC. Now, see, I'm from running to chain. Near Candy, the masses near the acre, a petty. And yet the same law, and Mamu passy levy. In the same law, and I'm aware that minority sitting as a leader at national. In the same law, and I'm when our position in Parliament. As I could be a MP. In the same law, and I'm when Yesika. When ya day or Ghana. In the same law, and Mautimi Kasa, criticize the government. Nene, and Brana, we did bore my near fan 20. The intended in Parodoneka. Nipa dodo ben na eka. Masses and saying. Then a masses the public in ibeti. And a moment sem. Debut. The masses ni peti ni say omo fa aban sika kwan bone so no. Aban na chi o magi sika no. No mo peti o. The masses ni peti ni de ene Sam George akoye ene say data prices na mo pija course unreasonably. Nyansa ba kokure ni the same amount of money yet they told data at a lower cost. And then some George are more criticized on your jumano. Should we build the data could do? You come back to our previous things. And on the MP, the masses in the paying no. The masses in the paying support a petrol, swati, and perswati. The masses in the paying is $1 and baffum. The masses in the paying inflation and the caution and baffum. The masses in the paying is a many juma a. The masses in the paying is necessary for Makola-Strike is a strike BNO. And no paying the moke canoe. And you people, Mooney, my dear, no marshalize a Mooney just to sabotage the system, just to delay the process, just to delay government business. In fact, I want to go and say massage. Or more munim di, or munim mara, because a great beach ramadi, or moon shemo. International people for shemo, because Parliamentary or no. Be on go school down or the demoke can hear them. Be on table no better no day. Or more munim di, and a dia to team no. The moon say numbers now cost runners in the page or more munim dinner. Or multi think it through. The way do make it sense. I'm gonna hear shemo. No mwanga samu gumu any masses. Emanisi was young family Anton Jenny guard for. Like how? As a minority leader. Now mom teaching so budget so. Yentiasi, ye pequine be, I think it true. Like how? You see how a speaker and harmful and say disgrace one of your so-called lawyers. As a lawyer, I was honorable. Professor Kasana would see him, and I would do over me. Na GHS for some Kassan classes for some classroom on me. It drone forces on your day to not do to 2 drone for her. No, see, any Makola, your parliament, your selfish interest in Kwana, you people you are thinking about. And the attorney general, it make sense and thousand. Then I'll pay the. Then be o kwan na o grom ne be wow the shoe man for shemo pana so man for here nsuo man for here light man for here kwan man for tetinu asensu ade morning kwan mote so man for be school fees community mintia o man for bre wo kwan instance no so wo defend ya de ya then no o person sa kono pa mama na just an one now the cool this is the more 50 cities na mo sa aboka the cool because near mo hia na mo ka parliament you are not fighting for the masses. You are rather fighting for yourself. Your selfish gains, your selfish interests to sabotage the government, to delay a government business and so enfa. You sound for subscribing and share my news.